year.
You honestly should.
No, I shouldn't. I don't want it.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stochastic.com MLB strategy show. Friday, August 30th means football is around the corner. It also means this will be the last show Josh and I do together for
A couple
a
months.
while now, right?
I mean, probably sometime January, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are you going to be doing
February.
any? You'll be doing NBA strategy. You probably won't be NBA live before lock, or will you on any of them?
There's no telling. I have no idea.
Okay.
Last year was strategy, and then one of the two I don't remember, and then playback. But
Right.
that's going to be untenable at that pace again.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind. A couple days a week, fine.
I was just
Monday,
thinking
Friday,
I'll
ain't
probably get
happening.
asked. I'll probably get asked to fill in on some type of NBA show. So we'll, at some point.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, if it's some late January, early February is when you'll be back in my streets.
yeah, it's exactly what it'll be. Yeah. I mean, because
Yeah,
you have the Super Bowl, but there's 2 weeks in between games for the Super
yeah.
Bowl. So like I'll probably start before the Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, basically heading into the championship or the conference title games. Like at that point, you're not doing an hour and a half a day every day.
Yeah. Right. I mean, at this point with betting and DFS, it's going to be long. Justine and I were sitting out back after the kids went down last night, just having a couple beers and or she's having her Chardonnay or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm, having a couple beers and we're talking. Nice night too. Good breeze, like 70 degrees.
Yeah,
Perfect.
no, it was fucking terrible here yesterday.
It was great. So we're talking and she's like, okay, so just tell me what your schedule is going to be like once we start. I was like, well, Sunday you won't see me all day. She's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I figured. And then I just went over it.
yeah.
It's what a
It's
shift.
easier to tell her what you don't have going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Tuesday afternoon, Thursday morning, and then otherwise, just assume that I'm working.
It's exactly what it is. I was like, we could still do the morning walk because we'll go out a couple miles with the girls and the dog in the morning.
Yeah.
But we probably won't be doing that in January. So that doesn't or December when it's 20 degrees out. So
Yeah. Katie got all excited yesterday. She was like, "Do you want to go to Asheville for like Halloween weekend or something and get away for a couple days?" I was like, "Oh my God, that would be great." She started showing me this house and I'm thinking about it. I was like, I can't do this.
not,
It's
not the
fucking,
beginning of like the second week of NBA season.
it's not, no, not even.
The
The
first.
season starts like that Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's like 4 days before we would go.
Oh, it
I was
starts
just
a
like,
little late.
I can't do any of this.
When does it start? Usually it's the 23rd, 24th.
Something like that. Yeah. But like Halloween is like the 27th or 28th. The month ends on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So it's like that previous
Yeah.
weekend.
22nd, actually.
Yeah. I was like, well, there's a 0%
No.
chance I could go do this.
But by the way, it is the second week of basketball season, but tomato, potato.
No, it
Anyway,
isn't.
if it starts the 22nd and you're going away the 31st.
No, not the 31st. The prior, like the 22nd is what, like a Tuesday or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would leave Friday.
Well, that's different.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I absolutely
You
cannot
can't.
do this. Nor
No,
do I want to.
That'd be like me saying, all right, guys, I planned a vacation for this summer, but it's late. It's the first week of
Yeah.
September.
Yeah. And I would work from there. Like we're going to get a house. We would have gotten a house or whatever. And I would have had all
not
my
the
stuff.
same,
But like,
though.
I'm hitting NBA and NFL and betting. I was just like, it's got to be 2 weeks before that or I'm shit out of luck.
Oh my God, there's nothing better than NBA starting with football still in full swing and just having I wish, I pray to the gods of the sports underworld or overworld that one day we can get back to the NBA season starting on around Christmas like they did excuse me, post COVID.
Yeah, the second year of COVID.
It would be well, because it wasn't the bubble year. I'm saying it was the following year so they could reset.
Yeah, they start Christmas Day.
That was for someone that does content, but I think also for people that just love betting and playing DFS, that was the greatest thing ever because you
I
had
mean, I loved it.
so did I. You had all of football basically to itself. Not that you need that. The overlap is fun, but you had football from September basically through December. And then you had basketball during those super dry dog day of summer months. You had it going to like mid-July or something
It
like
was
that.
great,
So
dude. It
really
was so good.
all you had was all of August, basically, which by the way, then the preseason for NFL starts. You're in training camp, you're stoked, you're amped up about that. There's just no downtime whatsoever. If they went, and there were some proposals from like owners of
Yeah.
teams, they're like, why even bother competing with the NFL? Let's just start it around Christmas. We have basically 5 months to ourselves.
It's a shame. It's a shame. They just didn't want to compete with the WNBA once they got to the summer.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah. Don't forget, World Series Game 1 scheduled for October 25th. So you really get that trio of top end baseball, NFL, like heart of the season, and the beginning of NBA. If MLB Showdown was as interesting as like NFL Showdown, holy shit, the World Series would be really cool.
Would be amazing, except it's just not even remotely close.
I haven't played it and will never play it.
No, I have played it and I just couldn't get into it. And also, like, if you want to make the argument that grabbing the minimum salary tight end is the same as a relief pitcher, whatever, fine. But I can't get on board. And
No.
truthfully, unless the Phillies are in the World Series, I'm probably not even watching it.
You could put the Braves in the World Series, and there's a decent chance I'm not watching it once the NBA season starts.
See, I definitely would be if it was the Phillies. But last year, I didn't catch a single second of Diamondbacks Rangers. Matter of fact,
No.
I didn't even know it was on. Like I knew they were in the World Series, but I didn't know
You
when.
didn't know they had a television coverage for that one?
I didn't know. I'm saying, like, I would go and pull my phone up later that night and be like, oh, it was game 3 tonight. That's interesting. The Rangers got the win. No, I'm not the only one that wasn't watching, especially during football season that wasn't watching. And during, I think basketball had already started, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was not the only one that wasn't watching Rangers Diamondbacks World Series. There's just no chance.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe one day we'll get our wish. That would be awesome.
Well, if I'm going to be able to put out wishes and they come true, I'm going to start somewhere else. But I would like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Did you happen? I don't normally read Barstool, but I do follow the Twitter account for any time I want to see like an interesting news piece.
Well, I've
You see
been
this chick
following
that-
because of Aton lately.
Well, that's fair too. Do you see this chick that got fired and recorded herself getting fired?
Mm,
Oh my God, it's incredible, dude. She's so incredulous about it. And they're like, well, you were 15 minutes late to clock in on the 12th. You were 23 minutes late on the 24th. And she's like, well, so-and-so had my car, so I couldn't get there. And the HR girl's like, okay. She's like, and then on, October 8th, like, you didn't even call off. You just weren't here. She's like, well, that was my birthday, And she's like,
no.
okay, well, we're going to have to let you go.
Gen Z.
Yes. It was amazing.
Oof.
She's like 12 minutes. She's like, well, like everybody else is supposed to be at work and clocked in for 6 because that's the terms of your job. It's bad when the entire internet is like, we side with the company.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shocked she got fired because she took off on her birthday and told no one.
I think I saw it. I was scrolling, but I didn't click. Was it the black chick?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I saw it. I was scrolling, but I didn't click on it.
You should watch it because
also,
she's baffled that this is happening. And they're like, we've talked to you about this.
The Johnny Gaudreau news too is unreal. Did you see that? The Johnny Hockey, the NHL player.
I don't know who that is.
Him and his brother. Okay, so he was a like previous 40 goal scorer. Either way, very good hockey player.
Okay.
Him and his brother were out riding bikes, and a drunk driver hit them and killed both of them. Listen to this though. You want to talk, and happy to have you guys indulge me for a
Eesh.
second. You know how it goes. It's my last MLB show. Football's coming up, but we'll get into everything. I promise. Plenty of time. Josh, listen to this. The day before their sister's wedding, and both of them were groomsmen. The most unthinkable tragedy for not just them, but a family you could ever imagine. The day before their sister's wedding, they were groomsmen. She was marrying another, actually, I believe an NHL player, and a drunk driver hit them and killed both of them. Was trying to get like past two cars, probably on the shoulder, hit both of them and killed them both.
Where are you going to find two groomsmen short notice?
Dude, are you kidding?
I had to pop you for that one. No, that's awful. Awful. Riding a bike. So I assume like side of the road.
Yeah, it had to have been. I mean, you just
That
called it
happens so often.
all the time. And don't get me wrong.
My dad's nephrologist got hit and like broke his back and shit. Like while like he was like, hey, I'm not gonna be in the office for a bit. Because like he'd had my dad for like 15 years at that point. So like they've built a very long rapport, like they talked. And he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be there a while. I got hit by a truck while I was riding up a mountain.
Nobody hates cyclists more than I do. I think they're insufferable for the most part. The outfits, the entitlement. However, when I see one on the street, I still go around them and try not to get close. They drive me nuts because a lot around here, you saw where I live, right? I live in it's a suburb, but it's also pretty open. Like there's all these places to drive and they're on a road with no shoulder, with hills and sharp turns. But my God, I mean, this guy made the worst mistake of his life, and his life's over. Done.
Oh my God. Yeah. Done.
Cooked.
Yeah. He's gonna be in the clink for a minute.
Yeah. Makes you second. That's why I like to drink. I go out back on the patio, or I call an Uber.
What time of the day was this?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Right. If it was a drunk driver in broad daylight, right. Yeah. There's really zero excuse to ever drive. And I'm not preaching to anybody, but like to drive drunk anymore with the amount of ways to get around. Back when I was 18 years old, I had an excuse.
I didn't have you just didn't have a choice, especially in the Northeast. Like everybody had the exact same thought process for what they were doing. They were going home.
And we all did it.
It was always wild to me that you would like 2 o'clock in the morning would hit and then a parking lot would go from packed to empty.
Yep.
And
the older I get,
you should be able, like, I get that it's, entrapment. You should be able to pop every single person that gets into their car.
Just sit there and wait. Just sit there.
You should. You shouldn't even be able to get your car.
Well, it's not entrapment if you just set up a sobriety checkpoint and nail and hit them all on both sides.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I'm picturing the bar back home where everybody would come out and go to like every single person getting in there is blowing twice the legal limit the moment they get to the car at a minimum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I figured I'd set it low.
The older I get, the more I think that like, men, or we'll call them boys, shouldn't be able to get their license till they're like 28.
We are animal. I was definitely an animal behind the wheel for the first few years.
Look, man, anybody that says like if you're 18, would you rather get in the car with a chick or a dude? If your answer was you get in the car with me when I was 18, you're an idiot. You're a moron.
There were a couple of guys that like I really did not enjoy when they gave me a ride somewhere.
Girls always drove safe. They always drove safe. Anyway.
I mean, they were just naturally bad.
Correct, but not reckless. That was
correct. Yeah. Everybody I knew was, it was just like whatever straight road you were going on, you were driving 100.
Correct.
Probably subs in the trunk.
I did. I had two 12s.
So you couldn't hear anybody speak. You get sick.
And it was an older car, so it rattled. Like it wasn't
the whole car sounded like it was going to be bolts on the ground by the time you were done.
But you thought you were cool as hell.
Too. It would make me nauseous to be in my buddy's older brother's car. I was just like, I don't want to do this, man.
Do you remember Outkast and Big Boy came out with one, and it was 2 albums. It was the
Speaker Box Love Below
and the Speaker Box intro. if you put that on with subs, it would blow your eardrums out. Dun, 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 dun. You know exactly what I'm
I
talking
know.
about, right?
Yes, I've listened to the album 1,000 times.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't
Anyway,
miss that. What a terrible era.
of what? Music?
Like everybody thought that was awesome,
Oh,
and
we
it
thought we were the
sucked.
best. And like
It sounded like
chicks dig it,
everybody
the chicks
sounded like
dug it.
shit. It all
Of course,
sounded like shit.
of course. I know
Total
you just
garbage.
went past me and I had the subs on in a 92 Prelude SI. It was just
Yeah,
like,
you hear that person 6 blocks away.
yeah. And it is the most ignorant display of behavior ever.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it really is. It's just wildly ignorant and inconsiderate. You know, it wouldn't be ignorant today. Playing Blake Snell again. God, I'm good. Playing Blake Snell against the Miami Marlins in San Francisco. Josh, how's that for a segue? 10-2 against the Marlins. They have a 1.3 implied total today in San Francisco.
They don't, but they could, and you'd believe it. I do have it sub 3, which is staggering. Yeah, look, there's not a lot to say here. On a 10-game slate today, because of this matchup, Blake Snell is projected for 50% ownership, and by all accounts, he deserves every bit of it.
It's so similar to what you and I said about Logan Gilbert at 54% ownership the other day on a 9-game slate. It's like, nope, just play him. I don't care. Just play Logan Gilbert. You know, that's what.
Yeah.
Just play him. I mean, obviously, do as you please, but I'm seeing a 2.7 implied total in some spots for Miami.
Yeah, it's
2.7.
Yeah, I have the Giants 69% to win. This game is in a ballpark that gives up no power. There's multiple guys in the Marlins lineup that project with an ISO under 120. They strike out. I have not confirmed their active roster strikeout rate, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it's not awesome. It doesn't matter. Every single thing here looks great for Blake Snell. He is going to cruise today.
It's crazy because before that last start he had against Seattle, where he just seemingly lost everything.
Yeah.
He had been the best pitcher in baseball since coming off the IL.
Yeah. Miami is 9th in active roster strikeout rate against lefties. Care to guess the WRC plus if you're not looking at it?
I think it's like 73 or something.
Well, you are way off. 72, dead last.
Okay, well, it was 73 when I looked the other day.
70... Well, that sounds like they were worse yesterday.
They got worse.
Which 72. They weren't, actually. Which is really interesting coming out of course. No lefties, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Freeland. And he shut him down.
Yeah.
Freeland shut him down. He gave
210 average, 272 on base percentage. They have a lower slugging percentage than the best on base percentage, which is Philly.
That's nuts. Now, Blake Snell's the best option on the slate. He has a 34% top 2 pitcher likelihood when you're talking about a 10-game slate. Looking at the top pitchers.
I have the same percentage too. 34 for me, 34 for the site.
34%. And you have 20 pitchers. You have 20 pitchers going. And he's at 34%. Don't overthink it.
No.
Yeah, there are going to be times where the chalky pitcher sucks. There's also going to be times where they pull a Logan Gilbert and go 7 scoreless with 10 Ks. And they do what they should do. Blake Snell's in just as good a spot as Logan Gilbert was the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too good.
Also, can we talk maybe a little bit here about the other pitching options? Because one of the reasons he's getting 54% is because Blake Snell is really good, elite strikeout stuff, best matchup you're ever going to find to get for a lefty, best park you're going to get. The other reason is pitching kind of stinks.
It's not good. I mean, cheap ass John Gray, Tyler McGill getting some love. And then it's Kirby on the road, who's a very interesting conversation about road and home. You know, Framber Valdez is a pretty good option today against the Royals. Their implied total sucks pretty bad. Then you got Pablo Lopez sitting out there today against the Blue Jays. Again, another total, another good spot. But like, you know, nothing you're feeling amazing about. It's really Snell, and then you're like, all right, we'll figure this out. as we go. A lot of additional SP2 options.
Yeah. It's ugly. I mean, Kirby's one of those guys that's a very good pitcher. We
Yeah.
know that. He is, yes, I'm sure this is surprising to all of you, better at home. Better at home. But he's still good on the road. He's just another guy in this Seattle rotation that is better at home. There's no two ways around it. Like 27% K rate, 328 xFIP at home, 21% K rate on the road, 371 xFIP. So not a far cry from where he is at home, but the strikeout rate on the road is 6% lower, which is pretty crazy.
His hard contact rate, home and road, 22% at home, 32% on the road.
It's just weird. It's weird. I don't have a great explanation for any of it. 3.8.
It must be really hard to see the ball out of the pitcher's hand there.
Must be. It must be.
Because if you're adding 10% to hard contact on the road, which the road is essentially a giant average park,
of course,
whereas home is not. To cut that hard contact by 10%, it just appears to me that like you just cannot square the ball up the same way because you're not seeing it out of their hand. Is my guess.
I agree. Did you see this one start though against Detroit? It must not have been on the slate because we definitely didn't talk about this. 3 2/3 innings, 12 hits, 11 runs, 6 earned, 3 home runs, and 5 strikeouts. Somehow only finished with minus 1.6.
I'm pretty sure I stacked the Tigers that day and it didn't get me anywhere.
Well, if it's 12 hits and 11, well, no, he did give up 3 home runs. God, that's just terrible, Kenny.
That was the 13th.
Yeah, of August.
Maybe I didn't play that day.
But listen, here's where I'm the angle that I'm approaching this from. Right? He's 9,800 and it's not a bad spot against the Angels. We can get into the numbers for the Angels, but I can tell you now that all of their rates, even the K rate is higher than it's been. None of that is good. The pricing on FanDuel is dramatically different. Blake Snell's 11.2, Kirby's 9,400. He's the 6th highest priced pitcher. On DraftKings, however, where Kirby's $400 cheaper than Blake Snell, I don't see how you make the argument.
No, I mean, we have them separated by like 4.5 to 5 fantasy points. I got it by 4. I don't see it. I think the more interesting conversation happens when you just try to pick between Kirby and Valdez.
Agreed. Or Kirby on FanDuel. Kirby on FanDuel looks really good. 9,400. He's second or third highest owned pitcher on FanDuel. Totally get that because Framber Valdez is 11K, Snell's 11.2, Pablo Lopez is 10.8, Kevin Gossman is 10.5, Seth Lugo's 9,800, and Kirby's 9,400. So that price point just truthfully seems like a mispricing in this matchup.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. Like there's no reason he should be more expensive on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel. That's crazy.
No, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I'm pasting in my exposures right now. I'm hoping that I don't have him.
While you do, by the way, it is a good matchup. Angels, 28th in weighted on base average versus righties, 29th in WRC plus on the active roster. 137 ISO is 29th as well. And their K rate at 24.7 is 6th highest in baseball. So objectively, this is a phenomenal matchup. It's just, I mean, I think
imagine if he was at home.
Yeah, seriously. So, if he was at home, but even with him at home, Blake Snell would still look a lot better.
I have 4% Kirby.
Jordan, what do we have? 13 or so? What does that say? 13 point. Oh, 6%. Right. A ton of Snell, a ton of McGill, and then Lopez and Valdez, some of those. At the price points, I get it.
I'm happy. Like, I'm always happy when what I want it to be ends up being my exposures. It just makes me feel better about going into lock.
Even Pablo Lopez, I think, looks better than Kirby on DraftKings.
I have 36% of Pablo Lopez. He's my second most exposed pitcher.
Yeah. It's not a matchup that I'm ever in love with because Toronto doesn't strike out a ton and I look at Toronto as a pretty average team across the
Yeah.
board against righties. You know,
Yeah.
maybe slightly above average, but in that ballpark. But Pablo Lopez is $1,200 cheaper than Kirby. Kirby's essentially in no man's land on DK.
Yeah, I really, really, really don't like him. I'm also rostering 92% of Blake Snell. So just putting that out there.
I don't blame you.
No, that won't change either.
And then McGill. So you have essentially you have the three best matchups that you could ask for. You know, you have Miami against the lefty. You have the White Sox, and then you have the Angels, both of whom are facing righties. I guess the only spot we're missing here is no Tampa Bay.
What number is that? Raise. Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like,
Saying they're I'm assuming
they're
you're
not on the
6 o'clock
slate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was like, no Tampa Bay. I don't find them anywhere.
Yeah, no, they're not
Now
on
I
the
understand
slate.
what you were saying. Yeah, right. So I have 4 pitchers with a real amount of exposure. 92 to Snell, 36 to Lopez, 22 to McGill, 20 to Valdez, 12 to John Gray if we want to be specific, and then I basically don't have anybody else.
Isn't it funny how the White Sox, certain teams are so bad that McGill, who has not been good and spells his name with an O, is going to be getting significant ownership today.
Old Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. I think, let me make sure that I didn't see this wrong. I think we have McGill with the highest. Yeah, we have Tyler McGill, highest ownership on FanDuel.
We got to hit something here. Gerardo Gonzalez says, "Where's the best Philly cheesesteak? I'm in Philly for a wedding." So when you say you're in Philly, the first question I have for you is where? Because that will change the answer here.
Sure. Oh, of course.
If you're in like if you can get yourself to like, the Manayunk Roxborough area, that's going to be a different discussion than, if you're in South Philly or it really, because you're not like, if you don't want to travel for it, that's going to be different. Dallas Andros to me is my personal favorite, but that is not going to be like Philly proper.
Yeah, but it'll get you where you're looking to go.
Right, but if you're in South Philly right now, like I'm not telling you to go to Dallas Andros because it's gonna take you 45 minutes to get there. Whereas like you can get the second best and be there.
Digital Buddha said John's roast pork. That's another one that's elite.
I would rather have the roast pork sandwich though.
They're all good. Angelo's is another one.
Angelo's is probably the answer. Don't go to Pat's or Geno's. I mean, or unless you want to eat 2 cheesesteaks today,
Yeah,
and you just want to see that novelty.
yes. And the funny thing is too, like, yes, they're clearly the tourist destinations for cheesesteaks.
I still love it when I have it.
But compared to other cheesesteaks, they're still delicious.
Yeah, I love them.
Right?
If you like grease more, I'm more of a Pat's guy.
Yeah.
Geno's is going to be a little lighter, as light as a cheesesteak can be. Katie hated it. I mean, I took her the first time she ever came up. So this would have been like Christmas 2009. She lands in Philly. I was like, we're going to get cheesesteaks. It's like, 10 o'clock at night when she lands. She's like, I burped this thing for 2 days. I was like, yeah, that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, right.
That's not a bug. That's a feature.
How about that one I made the other day I sent to you?
That looked damn good, dude.
It was good, man. I made, yeah. Let me know when you make them, because now that you got
End of September, once I'm done and I'm willing to just like house a 12-inch Omarosa roll or something.
Got to go with the Amorosa roll, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
Or if I can get some, are you a seeded roll guy?
I'm fine with it.
Me too. But for me, Amorosa, I can get them right at the store and I don't have to go to a bakery or something.
Yeah.
So I'm grabbing them, and that's
my problem is hunting down a roll that I like.
Around here, it's easy.
I would probably go to a place that I know has good bread and just ask them if I can buy 2 rolls.
Like 2 Italian, yes.
Yeah, so there's a place in
Italian
town
steak
called
rolls.
Copper Penny that's actually like a Philly bar. Oddly enough, the owner plays DFS and got to, I believe, talk to Alex at a live final like 2-3 years ago, but neither here nor there. I love this place. They actually have good bread. Like, he's a Philly guy. He knows what makes that. I feel like I would just pop in and be like, I'm going to need 2 rolls. I need to make cheesesteaks at home.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, around here, it's easy.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, and then you have Corpolis as well. I don't know if you're familiar with Corpolis. There's a handful of them. They're fantastic. I mean, yeah, they do the tomato pies and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. Big fan.
But not hot. They're not hot. They're
not cold.
So good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Room temperature, basically.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. Anyway.
Delicious.
Yeah, try any of those and you'll be fine. Also, Jake said, oh, how about this? Get me ABI, all your home run picks hit. I won 20. Yeah, Josh had the 3 home run picks yesterday. Dude, that was awesome, man. We were going back and forth about it. Odd Shopper Live coming up after this. If you're not watching, you're stupid. No, but for real, if you're not watching right now and you're in on pick'em and you're in on betting, definitely, for baseball, definitely watch.
Yeah, if you hit that anything like I hit it, we're talking about, probably over $1,000 for you, if not a couple more.
What? Please hold on. Please elaborate, sir.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you bet it like I did, 30 or $40 straight and 20 on the round robin, 10 on the 3-leg, like, I think the final payout on something like that was like $7K. Even if you're scaling that down to like a quarter, you're probably walking, if you bet it straight and went the whole way, like, you're probably walking out of there off of like, I don't know, $50 in bets at $1,000.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah. It's awesome. That was a big one.
It was exciting. It was really exciting.
Can we get to any other pitchers today? I mean, the answer is yes. Like, there's going to be a couple that might be somewhat viable, but I don't want to pay 10K for Seth Lugo. Not playing Austin Gomber against Baltimore in Colorado. Let me go up the list real quick and stop me if there's any. Just do this. Stop me if there's anyone you hear that is even remotely enticing. Okay.
Go ahead.
I have a feeling I'm going to need to take a deep breath for this one. Bailey Falter at Cleveland.
Pass.
Eric Fetty, 8,700 at the Yankee Stadium.
I have 8%.
Okay. Jonathan Cannon against the Mets.
Pass.
What about Kevin Gossman's 10-5 though. Oh, I'm sorry.
Pass.
I'm on FanDuel. Kevin Gossman. Pass, you said?
Yeah, because he's not him anymore.
He's not.
And I don't mean it the dumb way that everybody says it. This season, Kevin Gossman, 22.7% K rate against righties over 1,200 pitches. Just for example, if you just look at last year, it was 32% against righties. So his strikeout rate is down 10% against righties. It's 21.5 against lefties this year compared to 29.5 last year. He's basically lost like 8.5 to 10% of his strikeout rate. If you believe that this year is the real Kevin Gossman now, he projects very differently. I have 1 share. He's 10% out.
Here's all I'll say. And I've said this a lot this year. Sometimes Kevin Gossman remembers that he's Kevin Gossman. Other times he doesn't. Like, listen to his individual game K rates starting from his last game. 44, 23, 18, 7, 9, 23, 18, 11, 37, 27, 19, 15, 26, 31, ready? 11, 14, 48, 23, 30, 38. I'd keep going, but it continues. It's like 40, 38, 7, 15.
What a roller coaster.
It's all over the map. Look at his last start. We talked about this last start.
We did.
I said if Kevin Gausman is Kevin Gausman, he's going to dominate this matchup. 7 2-hit 1-run innings, no walks, 10 Ks, and the win. Dominated.
It's not a home road thing either. 22% K rate at home, 22.8 on the road. No real, like power changes. Been a little luckier, leaving people on base, which will change your raw stats a bit. Hard contact is the same. So, like, it doesn't appear to be a home road thing. It just, dude has no idea who he is when he's getting out on the mound.
No clue. And neither do we.
No. But I have one share of him, not thinking I'm going to get there. Hard to want to get to him. I think he's the lesser pitcher in the same game.
Behind Lopez?
Yeah, I'd rather have Lopez over Gausman in this spot.
Same price.
Now, obviously, Gausman has the better spot because the Twins strike out a lot more than the Blue Jays do. But
they don't. Not against righties. They're 20th and 21st. They have identical K rates against righties this year, believe it or not.
Yeah, I have it 25 to 19 if you use the steamer rates for handedness.
Okay, so I was just
on paper it could be worse, but
yeah,
on the season has not been.
Active roster versus righties, it's the same.
Interesting. And then, Twins are obviously 7, they're 60-40 to win the game, so you're getting that sort of benefit for Lopez.
True.
I greatly prefer Lopez.
JP,
maybe not great. Maybe I shouldn't say greatly. That's probably overselling it, but I prefer Lopez.
Yeah, because let's be fair, Lopez has been all over the map this year as well.
Yeah,
he really has.
Not to that extreme, but yeah, his extreme is last year was 33% K rate against righties. This year it's 28. Last year it was 25.5% K rate against lefties. This year it's like 24.5. So the lefty side hasn't really gone away. The righty side came down a couple percentage points, but.
Well, his problem is he just gets tagged in. I think he's been unlucky for sure, but he's just had these spots where it seems like everything's working, but then on paper, nothing works.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Like swinging strike rate against righties this year, 16%. I mean, that is elite. Yeah. 12.5 against lefties is still good.
Crazy.
It's just a weird dude. He's so prone to give up dongs. So like Trevor Larnach, Matt Wallner, even Royce Lewis, Kepler, like there's potential for some ding dongs here. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I'm reading the wrong names. Varsho, Barger, Loperfido. That's enough like lefty power on Lopez.
Agreed. Digital Buddha said Suarez seems cheap enough to be a Freeland type of YOLO play versus a Rockies team that strikes out a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I did look at him for a second. Like, hey, is this guy viable? But 18.8% K rate, not great.
No.
Obviously not a good park.
No. And Colorado's not bad as a team at home. 92 WRC plus active roster against righties. They've been at home, so they're established at altitude for the past week or so, however long that Marlins series has been going on. Baltimore coming in day one. I think Colorado's more likely to sit on Albert Suarez and make it a problem. Whether or not that's true, I don't want him either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say
it doesn't feel necessary.
I'm not saying it's necessary, but among all of the sub 7K guys, if you asked me to choose one of the 6, it would actually be Albert Suarez.
You must choose.
It would be Suarez. For me, at least.
Of the 6K guys?
Of the 6K guys and 5K guys.
It's John Gray for me.
Not me.
No? Oakland, higher strikeout rate against righties than Colorado does.
There's something terribly
wrong. Certainly
wrong.
Have more pop for sure.
They're not even letting John Gray throw a lot, like throw pitches at this point. I don't know. There's something not right with him. There's something not right.
And to be
he
clear,
can't.
I have 12% of John Gray, right or left, right on the field. It's just he's just the only guy I'm getting to in the 6K range.
I can see that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
So Gray,
I mean, he comes out of the bullpen, wasn't great, and then goes 2 innings in a start the very following game. 4 days
53
later.
pitches.
No, what's that?
53 pitches
Oh,
on the
50, yeah,
24th.
53 pitches. Granted, he got shelled, so they just didn't bring him back out. But his pitch count had already been super low since he came off the IL. I don't know.
Ooh. I'm nervous about him now.
I'm saying they're not letting him go deep enough. I just know because I was betting on his under for outs pitched or innings pitched for a while before it adjusted. And it's like he's going 75 pitches, 5 clean innings, even they pull him. Something's up with him.
Let's see. John Gray strikeout props. You ready?
Do they have him?
They do. What do you think John Gray's alt line is for 8+ today?
Well, it is Oakland, but
It is Oakland.
like 800.
540.
See, to me, that seems wild.
Yeah, I don't know where the truth lies here. 5.5 minus 152 to the under is where he's sitting. So somewhere around 5. I got him at 4.6. So I'm definitely less optimistic with you.
His K prop is 5.5.
Yeah, heavy juice to the under.
He doesn't have 6Ks since May 10th.
So you're telling me he's due? That's what I hear when we talk about this.
He'd be due if I had any confidence that he could throw the right amount of pitch, that he could throw enough pitches.
Well, it's not that I have the confidence that he can throw enough pitches. Are they letting him?
No,
pitch
that's
long?
what I mean. That's what I mean.
I'm a little dubious on both counts. Can he make 80 pitches?
Right.
And do they even want him to do that?
Right.
I think those are two separate things, both negative.
I would project him for 75 pitches today.
You might want to ladder the unders.
Seriously?
That's not a thing, obviously. Yeah, 255 for 7+. John Gray gets 7 strikeouts today. You are feeling damn good.
Well, then maybe I'm just seeing all of this wrong. I just know from what I've seen.
Or those are shit lines.
What?
Or they're shit lines.
It's possible. You know why? Because there's a lot of ambiguity with Gray. You just don't know. That's why when you told me there were lines, I was actually surprised that they even had lines on his prop.
Yeah.
Does he have an outs prop?
No, only Sears does right now.
Okay.
Let me be more specific. Only at FanDuel. So let me pull up Odd Shopper, which you can get by going to oddshopper.com. Promo code, whatever the hell my promo code is. Josh OS. Oh. All right, outs. Yeah, now, okay, it does exist somewhere. Oh, Fliff. Yeah, accurate. 14.5 over is minus 205 at Fliff. It's 14.5 minus 195 to the over on DK. So I don't know, 15. I got him just shy of that. So
then you've got what? I mean, so then what is it? Projecting him for like a 35% K rate in this game?
I mean, I have it to 21.
Yeah, I don't know. Just seems.
I mean, Rooker K's a ton, Geloff K's a ton, Langoliers, Brown, Cameron, Schumann. Like, I get it. But
Something just seems off with him is all.
He's in an interest. The price really helps.
Listen to his K rate going back to the beginning of June per game. 7.22, 18, 0, 10, 9, 4, 15, 10, 21.
It's really just all about whether or not the ball stays in the yard.
Pretty much.
Because that's what Oakland is doing. 420 slugging, active roster is 11th. It's just really all like if they're going to strike out like they normally do, which that seems like it happens no matter who's going to be out there. If John Gray keeps the ball in the yard, you're probably going to wish you had him. If Butler has a day like he did yesterday and puts 3 in the cheap seats and Blade hits 1 and I think somebody else hit, like, then, you know, it's going to be a long day for John Gray. But at 6,700, I think he's worth the dice roll. I think he's the best 6K guy.
Okay. You know, he hit the IL with a groin in May, and then he hit it again with a groin injury on the 29th of July.
Hard to do anything with that. And I don't, that's like not to you, but it's just like, we have no idea how his groin feels.
No, I don't. I'm just saying.
Well,
maybe...
you feel good about like, oh, something's wrong with his elbow. You're immediately like, okay, something might be up with him. But when it's groin, you're just like,
right.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. It's tough. Stroman's got St. Louis. It's crazy. You know, Blake Snell and McGill is going to be, my guess is the most popular pairing.
Yeah.
Lopez, Valdez are both getting 25% apiece. Then Kirby at 13, Gray at 11, Gossman at 7.5. That's it. I think we've kind of exhausted our options here.
You know, it's really funny. I think my number one stack is an A's stack.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. Really doesn't.
No.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I'm not exactly shocked by what I'm seeing.
Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Much appreciated, you guys. Goes a long way. You got live before a lot coming up later as well, and we can build out some lineups now. Well, let's dig into some stacks, Josh. Good time to do so. You want to get access to any of these tools, you know where to find them. Links in the description, and it's in the chat. A week or a month, single lineup sims. That also gets you everything too. You're actually getting a light version of the real, like the pre-contest sim. Top stacks, top pitchers, top hitters tools, all of that stuff. Or, you know, with football coming up, you should just do yourself a huge favor. Go to stochastic.com/HOF and download one of those avatars. There's 6 of them. You only need one, but you get to choose which one you want. Use it wherever it is you play. FanDuel, DraftKings, Yahoo, the Owner's Box, any of them. Finish top 3 in a field of 5,000 or more, because I think Owner's Box does have 50K up top for NFL Week 1.
So we hear.
Finish top 3 in a field of 5,000 or more, no matter the entry. Could be a nickel, could be 100, could be 15, doesn't matter. And you're getting a free month, $200 value of any Sims package you want, which is every tool for that sport. If you win twice in a calendar year, so say you win once, you get that. Then you win twice, and it's in 2 months later, you get another free month, $200 value, plus another week of any sport you want. So now you've got, say that happens, Josh, in October, late October, and it's your second win. You can grab a month of football and a week of basketball, and now you have everything on the site for both sports. Win 3 times, you get a month all access, $550 value. It's every single tool on the site. And if any of those wins happens to be 20K or more, you get the custom engraved Stochastic ring in display case, spinning display case. We got people tweeting at us with the videos of it. Like, yeah, this is awesome. Commemorating your win, you know, your username, the amount you won, the date, what contest it was in, and then the ring, your name, Stochastic Hall of Fame with the emblem. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
So sick.
No reason not to do that. Even if you're not looking to jump in and pay for a subscription right now, best way to just make your dollar, make your winnings go even further. Set yourself up. All right, you ready?
I'm ready, brother.
Where do you start? Do we want to try Snell and McGill for pitching? Do you think Snell and like Lopez or Snell and Valdez is viable. Where do you want to go here?
I think probably Snell Valdez and figure out what we're actually working with.
Okay. Because, not to bury the lead. Baltimore's got Austin Gomber. The Mets have Jonathan Cannon. There are a lot of good spots. Even Colorado against Suarez. There's some spots out there that are going to look pretty damn appealing today. And particularly those up top. So if you are looking to play some of those, you're going to have a tough time playing a Snell Valdez, even Snell Pablo Lopez, and getting to a heavy Baltimore stack.
All right, let's do Snell Valdez.
You want to try it? Just see what happens?
I do.
Okay.
So we need some sort of value team.
So the highest leverage stack we have is Baltimore, but that's only because we have a very high top stack score on them. Colorado, worst value score on the slate. Yankees are. Where's the leverage coming from? Where's a good value team? I mean, the White Sox against McGill is one of them. They are far and away the best value stack.
I like the idea of using Baltimore as
a 3-man.
A 2 or 3, yeah.
Me too.
Seattle?
Who do we have? Do we have a confirmed starter for the Angels now?
Yeah, it's fuck.
We did it earlier.
Name. It almost looks like spaghetti, but not him. What the hell is his name? I just opened my sheet back up again. Sam Aldegheri.
That's who's starting?
Yeah. They're my most exposed team right now. We have them third in value. I have them second. They are getting a little bit of love, but only Cal Raleigh is over 10% owned, so it's like not all that crazy.
Is he not even in the player pool?
He's not.
Let me just look this guy up.
He struck people out in Double-A. He's a prospect that got drafted last year.
He's never even pitched at Triple-A.
No, there's not. It's hard to want to project him to be anything. I mean, all the projection models have him around like a 20% K rate.
But also just has allowed no power whatsoever at all. Nothing.
I mean, the only time that he's pitched is 68 innings in high A for Philly this year, and then 27 innings in Double-A across Philly and the Angels. So
for sure, I'm just saying the guy is very no power at all. But what you're saying, yeah, does that mean it continues?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
I mean, he's a 22-year-old guy that that was pitching in high A this year. He should dominate the shit out of those dudes. And he did. Like, he did what he was supposed to do. Whether or not that becomes something I don't really know. Okay, so what trade was this?
I don't know, but let's try Seattle.
Well, he got traded from Philly. So what Philly trades did they make?
No idea.
Some fan you are.
Yeah, I don't care about that stuff. Let's try a Seattle stack.
Okay.
See how it works out for us. Also, we have them with the third highest stack score on the slate in our top stacks tool.
I think Cal Raleigh's got to be there.
Especially given the catcher's always such a terrible position.
I think Julio Rodriguez just has to be there because he's their best player.
Yeah.
I like a $3,100 Justin Turner against a lefty making his debut.
Sure.
Similarly, Polanco will be hitting from the right side against a lefty, and you get a $3,600 second baseman. I think all four of those guys are kind of no-brainers.
Who was the fourth one?
I think we go Crawford, Rodriguez, Raleigh, Polanco, Turner. You're hitting first, second, and short, and catcher, all reasonable salaries. The only guy that you're actually paying for is Julio Rodriguez.
This is actually very doable. And we have the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Yeah. And 3,200 left for your final three dudes.
Yeah. Problem here is you're not getting that Baltimore spot you were looking for.
No. All right. So best third baseman, because we need a third baseman and two outfielders.
Well, if you really wanted to, you could go with, an Emmanuel Rivera or something at 2,800 at third base. Ramon Urias is 3,800, projected to bat eighth. So there are cheap bottom of the order bats for Baltimore if you wanted to try and do something like that.
I kind of like Urias more than Rivera.
Dude, actually, wait, Austin Slater's $3,000.
Yeah. I told you, Baltimore looks good.
All right, well, this is actually, I mean, you could go Slater, Jimenez, Rivera. That, oh, all right, let me run this because that gives me 100. That's 49.9 with a 5.3 and it's a 1.57. So it's spread around a bit. 44%.
You went Slater,
Eloy and
Eloy,
Rivera.
Rivera.
It's actually not a bad looking lineup.
Who's the best $2,900 third baseman? It looks like it's Rivera either way.
I mean, his projection at that price point looks pretty good.
All these guys look great.
But I bet if you went McGill here, I bet if
I'm swapping out Slater for Grichuk to pull the ownership down a little bit further. At 31. Third base just stinks. Snell
and
Valdez.
Valdez. So I just ran it with Snell and McGill, right? And I swapped, Josh, the only swap I made was Eloy to Santander, and it was the exact same simmed ROI. How about that? The exact same with a pitcher swap to a upgrade an outfielder. Basically no difference at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to move stuff around here, but I keep sitting in that like 30 to 40 range.
The Seattle stack looks nice though. I think the Seattle stack looks really nice. I'm also pretty convinced that. So, all right, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If your attempt was to say, all right, you know what? I'm going to go, let's say Snell and McGill, and I want a 5-man Baltimore. How do we get different to make sure that this isn't the same thing everyone else is doing?
All right. So Snell and McGill with the Orioles.
With a 5-man Orioles.
All right. Well, let's build out an Orioles quick. So that's going to be, it's going to be expensive. Rutschman.
Gunnar Henderson's $6,800. That's as prohibitive as it gets.
It is. I'm going to try to do it though.
I have one with Rutschman, Rivera, Kowser, Slater, and Santander, and it's 3,200 remaining.
That's hard, man.
It's really tough to do. There's not a lot of meat left on the bone at all.
This is a tough one.
That's
okay. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Give me 1 second. We might have this.
I'll be impressed if you can pull this off.
I have 3,500. No, two owned. Ooh. Can I get Winker? All right, I have a 5-2-1 with Snell and McGill. Turner, Polanco, one off Jesse Winker. Left 100 on the table.
Run it.
Baltimore is Rutschman, Rivera, Henderson, Slater, Jimenez. $38.
Okay.
There's some. All right, we found we found the wheelhouse.
Yeah, we're in that range. Yeah, Baltimore's tough. It's not impossible because you do have a few cheaper guys for Baltimore. You got a few guys that are actually pretty cheap.
I left 800 on the table for this one. I swapped out whoever the hell I just said was the one off for Mitch Haniger and made it a 5-3. 43.6. We're getting there. If I take Turner out, it's the best first baseman I can get. Turner.
I think I may have cracked the code here. Give me
Oh,
one
yeah?
moment. I think it's very possible that I have cracked the code. Let's see. Can we do it? Can we do it?
I'm up to 45.
45.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. 37.
Suck it.
It's a Baltimore 5-2-1. So 5 Baltimore with Turner and Polanco for Seattle and Jesse Winker for the Mets.
Dude,
I
that's
honestly
the one
wonder,
I ran. I ran that already.
you ran the same exact lineup?
Yeah, it was the first one I did.
All right, great minds. All right, let me try this then. What if I put in Mitch Haniger over Winker and leave 800 on the table? So that gives you 5.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Did you do all of that?
I
haven't been listening.
I talked through that entire thing. I was like, oh, I switched Winker to Haniger, but it leaves 800 on the table.
I was in the lab. I wasn't listening. I may have feigned that I was.
I've done this one already. Yeah, I bet you I know what it gets.
That's crazy.
It's not that crazy if you just don't listen.
Listen, you do the same shit if I'm telling you I ran a lineup.
I've never done anything like that.
Stop it. So I just ran back-to-back identical lineups.
You sure did. You sure did. And it wasn't like I just did them and I was like, no, I just did that. I walked you through both of those examples.
That's awesome. Yeah, and the whole time I'm like, oh, nice, not bad.
I was in the lab.
I was dialed in, man. I was trying to figure some things out.
Wow. How'd you do? Did you get there?
Let's say we got similar results.
We sure did. We sure did.
I have a better idea. All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Please don't tell me you're putting Giants in there.
No.
If you're like, oh, I got one with Lamont Wade, Tyro Estrada, and Michael Conforto, because that's what I just did.
No, that's not it.
S&P, I just tried the McGill for Stroman piece, and it made it worse.
I'm actually going to try a John Gray lineup.
Ooh, 55.7.
Nice. I tried John.
Baltimore, San Francisco.
Which one was it? Let me pay attention this time.
Baltimore, San Francisco, 5-man. It's same Baltimore 5-man with Wade, Estrada, Conforto. Still
Okay.
Snell, McGill.
I went 5-man Baltimore, but then swapped catcher, put Raleigh in there, and then went 3-man Baltimore outfield. So 5, just to try and open things up, 21.
I just swapped whoever the hell I said is the second baseman for the Giants, Estrada, I guess, for Jeff McNeil. A little bit more ownership, a little bit more projection. Don't know how it's going to go.
I think I
40,
found it.
46.
I think I found it. Come on, baby. Give me 50. 4-4 Baltimore, Seattle.
You should try doing another one of my lineups so you can succeed.
I should.
I bet that'll get you where you need to be.
One last shot here.
Yeah, I'm on my final go here too.
One last shot for everything.
All the marbles?
For all the marbles.
I just spent every cent of my salary, and now I've swapped it to David Fry, Andre Jimenez, and Tyler Freeman. I can't imagine this is going to be the one, but... $55.2.
Okay. Not bad.
No complaints.
So you're in range.
Oh, I am in range. So I swapped it to Mitch Haniger. I actually did just swap out the outfielder to Mitch Haniger.
Yeah, it's insane. Okay. Here we go. For all the marbles, baby. Give me the 90. Give me the 90. Let's go.
Ain't happening.
41.
Nailed it.
I can't get. I went Snell and Pablo Lopez with a 4-4. 4-4 Seattle Baltimore. I can't get past that. Simply can't get past that. That's okay.
I think I'm all over it.
Well,
but bud, we're done.
I know you got to get out of here.
Oh, I don't even mean it like that. I just, I'm not going to talk to you again until 2025.
I know, at least not on live shows.
No.
Crazy. We'll be in touch.
I mean, yeah, you'll certainly be texting me all of your negative thoughts about all the protected classes.
Why do you say these things that are wildly untrue?
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, fine. You'll send me voice notes of it.
51%. Fuck. All right. Well, look, Lopez and Snell, just to kind of wrap this up. Baltimore, we're learning here, is actually not that tough to stack.
No.
Seattle
even with Gunnar Henderson being 6,800.
I think Seattle as a value stack looks as good as you're going to get.
I agree. That's why they're my most exposed team.
Yeah, they look really good. The only other the spots we didn't do a ton of Mets. That's a good stack. Oakland against Texas is at the very least interesting with the way that John Gray has pitched.
I have 6% of them, but they do make my number one ranked lineup is an Oakland 5-man.
Okay. Anything else before we go?
You guys should watch me on Odds Shopper live right now. The moment this show ends on the Odds Shopper YouTube channel. I gave out a 3-leg home run parlay and they all hit yesterday. That's the type of thing you can get from me. Oh, by the way, they all had massive closing line value too. So not only did we get amazing lines, but it also hit.
It was a good one. All right.
It was.
Hey, it's been a great MLB season for me. Going forward, you got Josh solo MLB strategy shows.
Yeah.
The way this is going to work, though, because you got Showdown Strategy for NFL. I'll be on that with Matt Kajeski. Ben and I have our Tuesday show for NFL. I'll be on with Greg every Saturday. That's going to be fun, like the single lineup sims and stuff on Friday.
Yeah.
Wednesday show we'll have first look at ownership and all of that good stuff. So MLB strategies moving to 9 Eastern.
Yes.
Of course, there's shelf life if you don't catch it live. Catch it whenever you want throughout the day. It goes to podcast. It goes to YouTube immediately after it's live. You can find it anywhere. NFL strategy show, Monday through Friday. I'm including the showdown slates, 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's how it's going to go. That's the new schedule, Joe. That's what we got going for at least
Yeah.
until
And
basketball.
I'll be in the single lineup sim for basically the entire show.
You should be. Yeah. I mean, just, yeah. I guess when basketball starts, we'll just go basketball 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Right? That would make more sense instead of going 10 and 11 again.
No, nine will be fine for me
You
for
and
the
I are
NBA.
up anyway early, so you'd rather just do it. And then
I'm up at 6 and back up. I can, yeah, I'd rather, I mean, I had a 6:30 a.m. show for 3 years.
I know.
So,
Right. So you'd rather do 9. I'd rather do 10
Yeah.
instead of 11.
Yeah. Worked
So
out
we'll do it.
perfect.
And the great thing is,
Glad we have some pull.
I know. The good thing is, even if you don't catch it live, it's there all day. For
Yeah.
football. all
I mean,
week.
for an MLB strategy show, like, do I want everybody to be here live? Yeah, it's way more fun when the chat's bumping, but you'll get all the same information. Honestly, with a lot less of, if you're not a huge fan of the 25 minutes that we don't talk about baseball, you're going to be real happy about the show moving forward.
Yep. Aaron asked home run picks. Oh, actually, my home run pick from the show did hit yesterday.
He did. Second home run of the day yesterday, Seager.
Yeah.
He had it real early.
I put a lot of thought into that one.
I gave out, yeah, sure you did. I gave out Alex Jackson, Stanton, and Nolan Schanuel.
Yeah, but if people watched your Odd Shopper live show, it wouldn't have mattered. Did any of those other guys that you just mentioned?
No. Those are my 3 for today.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought you were talking about yesterday. Different than yesterday.
No. Yesterday, everybody homered yesterday. JJ Bleday, Benintendi, and Sam Merrill.
Very nice.
Now you can go watch me break this all down on Odd Shopper Live right now.
Do it, because I didn't even think about a home run play. I'll ride off into the sunset knowing I got mine yesterday, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the NFL First Look show with Ben Rasa and myself. 9 o'clock. Josh will be back with you on Monday, and you got Live Before Lock tonight for the 10 gamer. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.